Ready?
Yep.
I had no idea. It was the first I heard of it. I said, "That's great. First I heard of it."
Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you please take a second, turn off electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johanna, call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here?
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
As there are no items for discussion on the agenda, we will go to department head reports. And Frank, why don't you start today?
Sure. We've been down on our beaches. We're starting to set them up. We have all our enclosures down there, and we're going to start with the Moby mats next week. All the walkovers are cleaned off, and we're very close to having them complete. We've been out the ball field. We've been out there every day. We've been cutting and cleaning and maintaining the complex, and it looks very nice. We also had Video Pipe in town. They've been doing some cleaning in our wet wells for this coming season, cleaning our main sewer lines, and we're due for a state inspection, which we've never been in violation, but they're coming within the next week or two. This weekend is a citywide garage sale cleanup weekend. We'll be in on Sunday, and we usually put about a half a day into cleaning up the city. It's been downsized tremendously over the years, which just says it's a very successful day for Margate. In Marvin Gardens, we looked at the holly trees. We ordered new lights for them. And we're waiting for them to be delivered, and we will install them when they come in. We filled out our temporary debris management permit, and it's a one-time permit where if there's a catastrophic storm, we need a place that's fenced in where we can store actually the debris and vegetation. If there's a lot of trees that go down, the designated area is the ball field, which we did after Sandy. And it actually, we had to map out certain areas, and Fred helped us a lot with it, and where we could place our dumpsters for the different types of debris and vegetation. And we also been going around town redoing some of the old bad patches of asphalt, and we did about a half a dozen of them this week, and we'll be continuing that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Frank. Jim?
As you can see, there's more demolitions every day. They tore the house down at Iroquois Avenue. That was a tank. That when they started to break that thing down, they were like, they didn't know what they were getting into, but it was a tough little house. We had 17 demo permits so far this year, which is down from last year, but it seems like there's a lot more teardowns. We had 280 permits so far and 130 zoning applications that Roger's doing. The building department recently sent out letters to all property managers of locations in Margate that have public swimming pools. 9600 Margate Towers. The letter serves as a friendly reminder that they are required to have an annual pool inspection by our electrical inspector, Jim Jarvis, and the inspection must be performed prior to opening the pool for the season, and it is also needed in order for the property to renew their annual certificate of compliance. So if anybody gets any calls, that's what they're doing. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jim. Ed?
Nothing to add?
Mr. Deeney?
I just want to report publicly that the clerk had advertised to receive bids for the ice cream vending. There were no bids received. And that makes us eligible for negotiation. I've spoken to Roger as the purchasing agent, and he's in touch with Paul, who has been bid successfully for the last few times. In fact, he got in touch with him. And Paul will submit a negotiated price, but before we accept any price that he might submit from a negotiated basis, because we got a minimum of 50,000, if you remember, on the bid, and he will bid less than the minimum. He will actually negotiate a price with us less than the minimum. Before we recommend any number to you, we want to make sure that we're in contact with any other potential bidders. So part of me just speaking here is to indicate that we're open and eligible to negotiate with anybody for the ice cream vending, subject to the same conditions as the original bid, other than the minimum bid. And we're not going to go into a verbal auction with everybody, but if they're interested, we will set up a mechanism where they can submit one price, and then we'll make a recommendation to you, hopefully by the next meeting.
Anything else, Rich? Chief?
On the agenda is second reading of the amended towing ordinance for your consideration. Some misinformation that's out in the public I want to correct is the vehicles will be stored at 3301 Arctic Avenue? 3301 Arctic, not 1333, it's 3301 Arctic. So I know there's a big stink about that, so I want to just clarify, it's 3301 Arctic Avenue. Other than that, everything's good.
Okay. Matt, yes? I'm good. Want to exercise your vocal cords? Okay. Lisa?
Good afternoon. Today, I reviewed a draft of our 2018 audit and spent most of the day reviewing that and going over some changes and other issues or comments that I had in regards to it. As of now, there aren't any, comments or findings in it, but I still am waiting for the final draft and for them to contact me to arrange for our exit conference to be held sometime within the next couple of weeks. Make sure I let you know. Last week I sent you a proposed timeline for our bond sale, which will take place sometime in July. I reviewed all the ordinances today and provided the information to the professionals. So I will keep you updated on that. We're probably going to sell somewhere in the area of $10 million. And right now, from what I hear, the rates are still good and probably expecting somewhere in, like 1.92% interest rate, which is still very good. That's all I have, unless you have questions.
Any questions for Lisa? Thank you, Lisa. Dan?
Yeah, Mayor, just a couple quick things. One, we had a fire that we responded to yesterday, and I want to say it was small in nature, but the reason it was small in nature was due to the quick response of our police department and our fire department. And I want to really say thank you to the police department for their quick actions, because they really averted a potential tragic event or a potential catastrophic outcome. It is my belief that if we didn't have the response times that we have, that this fire would have been much worse, just based on how much fire was burning and the volume of the nature and the wind. So, thank you to the police department and the fire department crew that was working yesterday. One other thing, we've been out the last 2 days going around to all of our city buildings and some of the other buildings that we've donated AEDs through the FMBA and through the city AEDs, and we've compiled a list of all them, and we're updating everything to make sure everything's up to snuff as far as all the pads are replaced, batteries, everything checked, and everything's good. So I want to thank the FMBA, because they actually are going to foot the bill, so to speak, for the purchase of any required equipment that's needed for these AEDs. So as part of a joint venture between the fire department and FMBA, I just want to say thanks. And the other thing is Beach Patrol has been busy preparing for the 2019 season. They're well underway. As the commissioner reported before, the new stands are great, and hopefully it's going to be, a major change for us with what they bring for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan. John, you have anything?
What I forgot to mention during the Capitol meeting, in the proposed public parking area on Benson and Monmouth right now currently, and Fred's working on it, and he might be able to give us an update. Frank contributed. Dave and Matt contributed. Dan, the command vehicle for our citywide auction.
Yes, we have all the stuff off of it, so it's pretty much ready to go.
Okay, and then, were you able to get the tray? Was that functional for you? For the off the command vehicle?
We don't think we can use it
I
because we don't
saw-
have an 8-foot bed truck.
Okay, perfect. So, Fred, when will we start to see action?
We will, well, I got in touch with our rep at Gov Deals. There's actually a resolution on tonight because we have to do some paperwork to keep going with them. I got in touch with him this week. Matt and I are gonna get together early next week. We'll look at the vehicles, see what we have to do. I'll prepare them. I'll probably say before the end of May, we'll have this thing ready to go.
Perfect.
But we also have to do the resolution, so I can get the paperwork together pretty quickly to get this done.
Okay, thank you. So that's all I wanted to mention. So we're all on board. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Fred, I apologize, I missed you again, so if you have anything.
You're not the first one that's
Right.
overlooked me. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Maury?
Nothing to report.
I have nothing today either. We'll open for public comment, 3 minutes on anything that was discussed here today. Is there any public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes,
Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
Thank you. We will take a very short break and we will begin our regular meeting.